Okay, so eventually what we need to talk about and what you need to try and match up are search terms to the topic that you're searching on. So it takes some intense thinking about the topic. When you think about your topic, you should be able to answer the questions who, what, when, where. Those things should be included in your topic sentence. So here's an example, a poor example of a topic sentence. It's a typical sentence that first-time students or new students or students new to research would write down. I am interested in whales at SeaWorld. Great. Being interested in whales at SeaWorld is I would imagine, a noble thing to do, and nothing at all wrong with being interested in whales at SeaWorld. But this topic sentence doesn't really say who, like what is the perspective we're talking about. We want to know who is interested in whales at SeaWorld. That perspective can change the kind of search terms that you use when you're doing this kind of a search. Are you only interested in whales, or are you interested in other animals? Is it only whales? And are you interested in only SeaWorld, or maybe there are other places that you're interested in? So let's take just a minute and think about how we can revise this topic sentence. Okay, so I have the topic sentence typed right here. I'm interested in whales at SeaWorld. And so follow along with me and think about the who, what, when, where, maybe why, those kinds of questions in your own head if you were presenting this topic sentence. So my question to you as a student would be, what interests you about whales at SeaWorld? So you need to come up with an idea of what interests you about whales in SeaWorld. So maybe you're not interested in whales per se. Maybe you're interested in whales in captivity. I'm interested in whales in captivity. Maybe that's the topic. And maybe it's not just whales. So what's a synonym or another way of thinking about whales? What's another word for whales? That's a broader scope. Maybe you're only interested in whales, but maybe really the research will be based on a broader scope. So perhaps what we really mean is we're interested in large marine mammals. And are we only interested in the sea world? Is it only sea world? Or does captivity capture what we mean by sea world? I'm interested in large marine mammals being held in captive. Being held captive at, let's see, what's another word we could say? Amusement parks, water parks. You see how now when we think about more than just I am interested in whales at SeaWorld, we can get some better search terms by saying that we want to explore the effects of captivity on large marine mammals held in water parks. Because if you don't express yourself better than something like I'm interested in whales at SeaWorld, there's a tendency for students to regard their topic as if it's the only perspective on a topic. So when the student in the library instruction class, live class, that gave us this topic, that student was really interested in the effects of captivity on the lifespan of large marine mammals being held in water parks. But I used this example for hospitality and tourism management. And so think about their perspective. Their perspective on being interested in whales at SeaWorld would be different. What are some of the differences? Well, maybe they want to know about how to build a tank to hold a large marine mammal. Maybe they want to know what to feed them, how to treat them. And if it could even be extended, depending on your perspective, to how to advertise large marine mammals. Maybe you want to know how to find a trainer. Maybe you want to let's just say, training large marine mammals for entertainment. Okay, so see the two different perspectives here on the interest in whales at SeaWorld, or large marine mammals at SeaWorld. One being those concerned about the effects of lifespan, the effects of captivity on the lifespan and health of the animal, and the other on how to best treat the animal, get people to come and look at them, how to feed them, how to train them to do tricks. Two different perspectives. So when you write down your topic sentence, make sure that it's very clear to everyone what your perspective is, the who, what, when, where, why, and how. So now we can see how I'm interested in whales at SeaWorld is not a very good topic sentence. How about this one? Continue thinking about topics, and in your own mind, think about what the differences are here. What are the effects of multitasking? We haven't really answered the who, what, when, where, and how. This is a popular topic, particularly when we're talking about students. But the effects of multitasking can be seen in other places. Take, for instance, an air traffic controller who must be able to multitask. And maybe we're interested in the effects of multitasking on personnel who have daily multitasking as a part of their job. So you can see how different that is when you think about multitasking and the detriment of multitasking for students who should be studying or staying on a single train of thought, versus multitasking being considered a necessary skill for some professions. And then what are the effects of multitasking on those professions, on the people in those professions? So you see, asking yourself the who, what, when, where, and how is very important.